Awesome. So these are customer success managers. So again, we're going to learn a lot from them here, but I'm going to start out with a few questions for Scott. So Scott, first off, I think defining this for the audience is probably appropriate. So if you could just share, what is a customer success manager?
Yeah. So the customer success manager, we affectionately refer to as CSM, is really the customer's main point of contact. They're the advocate for the customer. They can help the customer navigate finding the right resources within MSI. They're there to help address any just general questions that you may have. They can also bring people to the table to dive a little bit deeper into various topics, such as product roadmaps, strategic plans that a customer might be having, etc. So their sole purpose is to make sure that the customers are succeeding and they're at maximizing the value of the Service Pro platform and its strong capabilities. With each of our customers, the CSM will set up a reoccurring meeting where they'll discuss usage, understanding any challenges a customer might be having. Again, try and understand a little bit more about, the customer's goals and their strategic direction, and then follow up on any open action items that they might have from previous meetings or tracking for future meetings. At the end of the day, we really want the customer to think of the CSM as their partner and really MSI as their partner. We want to know you and we want to know your organization. And overall, I want you to think of the CSM as an extension of your team.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Scott. Now let's get into a couple of areas that, I think people goof or mix up customer success responsibilities, right? And where they're focused on providing value to clients. So, the first thing that I think people, kind of don't fully understand is, what's the difference between customer success or a CSM, right, is the acronym. What's the difference between customer success and just support?
Right. Yeah, no, that's a common question. While the CSM is your advocate and the main point of contact, they're not necessarily the subject matter experts on the platform. So we have a dedicated staff of customer support engineers. We'll call those CSEs. We're really there, waiting for your calls to come in to understand, working through your issues, working through any challenges. They've got access to tools and troubleshooting means to really resolve your issue or problem quickly and effectively. We also track the tickets that are coming in. We're looking for trends. We want to ensure that there's timely attention on the tickets and updates being provided back to you so that you know where each situation's at. The CSM can help quarterback some of these issues on a given basis, but they're more the Service Pro generalists, where these CSEs or this customer support engineers are the Service Pro experts.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense, right? I know I've worked with customer success based on being an owner of technology myself, right? With for go to market and having access to a customer success manager when I have questions or my team has questions is extremely helpful. But it's
Yeah.
different than, hey, this is broken or I don't know how to do this, right? Like a support issue. So they're helpful, but they don't always have all the answers right away.
Exactly. And, a lot of times, when customers will say, "Hey, I've got this issue," the first question out of their mouth will be, "Have you opened up a support ticket? And then I can help you." So that's an important component there.
Awesome. All right, now that we know the difference between success and support, now this bleeds into my area, so I think that this is a good one to dig into. So, well, I won't say anything. I got my opinions here, but what's the difference between customer success and account management?
Yeah, and Andrew, you can correct me, if I misspeak on any of this, but I really see the account manager. First of all, the account manager is a critical role, right? And they work very closely with the CSM. I mean, those two are joined at those two roles. But the account manager is really there. I see that as really helping a customer work through their strategic goals, either introducing new solutions that can drive efficiency and profitability for our customers. They're the ones that are, kind of on point to drive any contract renewals. But they also get engaged with other things as the customer's business grow. They might need to add more licenses, so they'll get engaged with that. I really look at these three roles we just talked about, the CSMs, the support team, and the account manager as a three-legged stool where each role is really there to provide support and stability to the customer themselves. We love seeing our customers succeed and grow, and we're proud of that. And really, at the end of the day, our customers' success is really a reflection on our success as well.
I was like, I always like to have customer success be an extension of the sales team for sure. But the one thing that I always use when I'm talking through the differences, because again, I'm a very basic person. It's this or this, right? But customer success, not quota driven. They are not there to sell you the next widget or bolt on, right? They'll help you identify if it could be useful, but they're not getting commission on sales, right? Most of the time. It's the account managers, and again, the go-to-market group. Those folks have quotas. And of course, they're there to support and help, and be an extension of your team, but they do have goals, right? Their role is to grow the relationship, renew the relationship, and customer success just doesn't have that aspect to their role usually. So that's how I've always, differentiated the two. But yeah, that was perfect.
Yeah, I think that's a key point to drive home. I mean, we're really there to help support the customer for any needs that they have, and we'll direct and guide, but yeah, they're not driven by any
Yeah.
quota volume at all.
Right. Right. Awesome. All right, Scott, I've heard enough from you for about a while here, so I'm going to let you take a break. Now, as we start going to the rest of the panelists, my first question is for Rich. All right, Rich, why is having a customer success manager valuable for clients?
Thanks, Andrew. A CSM brings a personalized experience. We build a strong connection with our clients. We gather feedback, be it praise, complaints, or suggestions. We take this feedback, this information, and we take it back to the relevant departments, which is used to continuously improve our products, services, and experiences. Like our relationship goes beyond mere transactions. We focus on creating a partnership where the success of the customer is seen as our own personal success.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Not always rainbows and roses, though, right? Like sometimes you can't hide. You can't hide from the customer. They know where you're at and
We're
they
the
need
front
you to help.
line.
That's right. Awesome. Thanks, Rich. All right, Colleen, my next question's for you. So, why and when should a client engage with their customer success manager?
So there's a lot of reasons why they might want to chat with us. To Scott's point, we should often be the first point of contact to assist with any challenges, maybe issues that aren't necessarily on the technical side, like the support team would handle some of those, or if you're not sure. It's a great place to start and ask the question. We're an escalation point. So if you have something that's really a challenge for your business, it's causing pain and issues, and you really need assistance very quickly, reach out to us. We can help facilitate, bring the right folks together on this side to solve those challenges. Some of the other things they do reach out to us for, report requests, interest in learning more about certain features. Hey, I was reading up on Tech Tracker. Can you tell me a little bit more because I'm not quite sure I fully understand it? Things like that. Some of the other things they might want to talk about education. If you've been on Service Pro for a while and you have newer folks coming on and you forgot where you started, we can absolutely help with retraining or getting you educational details, coming up with a training plan. Um, to one of the points that Scott mentioned earlier, it's really critical that we know about your strategic goals and the things you're trying to attain as a company. We can sit down and make sure you have a path forward using all the right tools to accomplish that, from business intelligence to customer portal, among other things that we have available. And we can help make sure that you succeed in the direction you're taking. In general, I think a great rule of thumb for the CSMs is if you're not sure who to ask, start with us. We'll be gratefully, very happy to help you get what you need out of that.
Awesome. No, I totally agree. Yeah. Keeps you guys busy, though, for sure. Keeps you
Absolutely.
busy. Thanks, Colleen. All right, Marilyn, you've waited far too long. So, my next question is for you. How can you work, right, or leverage your customer success, to avoid issues or mistakes post go live, meaning post implementation project, right? You're live. What would you say?
Yeah, so I would, bounce off the idea of that Colleen just brought up, which was recurring meetings being one of the most important things. But also, I would say being honest, right? Our entire goal is making sure that you have success with the platform. So we know that, like any other piece of software, it's going to have its kinks. You're going to run into some issues, right? So being honest with us, telling us what those issues are, what you want to accomplish, where you are, and where you want to be. And being honest with us will really allow us to understand where we need to go to get you answers, what we need to game plan for, and what next steps we need to take. But also being open and being flexible to suggestions that we may bring up, right? So whether it takes an extra step or reduces an extra step in your business process to make you successful, being open to that. So I'd say being honest and being flexible with us.
Yeah. The recurring meeting though, too, that's key. Like having a regular cadence. Doesn't have to be weekly, right? But if there's a cadence that you can get on to touch base, even if you jump on, you have a 30-minute block, you jump on and after 7 minutes, the topics are covered, everyone's good. Yeah, get some time back. But having that time on the calendar to focus on anything right from both sides is super critical. Um, Next question, but Yerlin, we're going to stick with you since we're here, right? So you'll answer first, but I'm going to have Rich and Colleen also answer this question. Let's start with Yerlin. What are some best practices that you see successful customers follow?
Yeah, for me, I would definitely say that they have a dedicated team to managing the Service Pro side of things for them. So they have a liaison that will handle any and all things Service Pro that will be the voice of their team to us and also be the voice of Service Pro internally for their team. I think that helps with communication. It's a lot more efficient. And it also has one person kind of be, the one that can help train others within their team, help, troubleshoot some things on their end. And it'll help us work with that person directly to come up with different strategies to success or, to oversee any issues and open items that they may have.
Yeah, you're the person on the MSI data, right? The Service Pro side.
Right.
But having that point person on the customer side, not that this is their full-time job, that's unrealistic, but having a point person or a go-to person is super key on the customer side. I agree. All right, Colleen, you're on the screen for me for whatever reason, so I'm going to come to you next. What would you say, some best practices are that some successful customers follow?
I tend to go a little simple with these because I think there are some great simple points that will allow you to be super successful. First of all, test in UAT. Please don't test in production. Sometimes you make a change and then, oops, everybody sees that change. Explore new functionality. To Yerlin's point, be open to learn a little bit more and see if perhaps that could be something you could leverage and you could grow as a result of that. And one of the big ones that I see a lot of us, and in general, I think it's just human nature, is don't struggle, right? You're working on something, trying to find a solution. The path may not be the most clear. If you spent 30 to 60 minutes on that, stop, call us, send us an email, ask the question. Do you have something that you could do to help me? We're more than happy to step in, learn, ask some more questions, and help to find a solution. Your time is extremely valuable. And if you're spending hours on things just struggling, you're losing time. So please, please, please call, email, whatever, reach out to us. We're happy to help.
Just to add on to that, if
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt, Colleen brings up a very valid point. I've seen oftentimes with customers, they'll spin their wheels and waste a lot of their valuable time, trying to figure something out, and weeks go by, and then it turns into frustration. Don't let the customers get themselves to that point, right? So as you, the customer listening to this, take that point and reach out to your CSM if you find yourself in that situation. Don't waste more time if you're struggling.
Awesome. Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree. I always have the thought is like, don't be lazy. Go and do a little bit, right? Try and do it yourself if you think you can accomplish something, but set a clock on it, right? Don't spend 30, 60 plus minutes, right? There's got to be a break.
There's a
There's got to
balance.
be
Yep,
there's a balance, right? All right, Rich, what about you? What are some best practices, you see successful customers follow?
I'm going to piggyback on Scott and Colleen on this one a little bit. I have to go with constant and proactive communication. Don't wait for a regular scheduled call to make us aware of something. If something arises, good or bad, let us know. We'll always make time for you. Secondly, leverage support channels. utilize our available resources like support, knowledge-based tutorials, and learn the full product's capabilities.
Yeah. Awesome. No, that's perfect. Two-parter, perfect. I like that. You're getting extra ones in here. Nice. All right, questions for everyone all over again. Rich, since you were last, we're going to stick with you. We're going to stay with you here. Answer this one. What's one thing you'd like to ensure all clients know about customer success?
Big one would be the CSMs do not have all the answers. We are your gateway to the answers. We're your liaisons to get you what you need, but we won't have the answers on the drop of a dime like that. We have to hunt for it the way you would, and we have the contacts to get you those answers. But many times clients think that we'll have an instant answer for them. That's not the case. We have to chase it down, just as anyone else would sometimes.
No, that's awesome. Colleen, what about you? What's one thing you'd like to ensure that clients know about customer success?
Yeah, actually, piggybacking off of Rich, it's going to be maybe what some folks might consider an unpopular opinion, but the first place a lot of us go is the Service Pro help. There's so much data locked behind those screens. We rely on it for integration documentation, roles and rights, that massive document that's incredibly helpful. I leverage that after 4 years every day I'm in there. So, to Rich's point, we've got a lot of information out there, great places to start. But taking the step backwards, do not forget if you're struggling and can't find the answer, please stop and ask.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Yerlin, what about you? What's one thing you'd like to make sure all clients know about customer success?
Yeah, I think I would let them know that it hurts our feelings deeply when you ghost us. So please don't do that. Understand that our role is customer success. We want you to succeed. We're your advocate. Ask any one of our coworkers. We can be increasingly annoying on behalf of the customer sometimes. Don't ghost us. Meet with us constantly. Don't be afraid to ask for certain things. There may be things we can do for you. There may be things we may not be able to do for you right away, but we're going to advocate for you. So, always know that we're on your side.
As a lifetime salesman, I know what it's like to be ghosted. I would agree with you. It's not a fun feeling. So anyone out there listening from an AE or right a prospect not on Service Pro, it still hurts sales when you ghost us too. So don't ghost, right? Just honest communication, right? What is Jeff saying? So our CEO has a saying, um, a fast no is better than a slow, maybe. So yeah, honest communication, don't ghost. Totally agree. All right, Colleen, since you didn't get to go first on any one of these group questions, I'm going to start this last question that I have with you. So, Colleen, what's your favorite part about being a CSM?
I really enjoy walking through the challenges with our clients. Sometimes it's a struggle, right? Sometimes it takes time, but in the end, it's really gratifying to see the folks you're working with change and improve the end user experience and see them succeed as a result. It's to me probably the best feeling in the world.
Awesome. I'm really interested in how you guys are going to top that. But Rich, what's your favorite part about being a CSM?
I enjoy being in the front line. Each day we get to learn from the trenches. We see what it takes to make our clients happy and successful. I think Scott mentioned this earlier, but we're a strategic extension of the customer's own team. So we put ourselves in our shoes and we fight the fights for them when needed.
Nice, nice. All right. Yerlin, what about you? What's your favorite part?
Yeah, for me, I think I'd say the relationships you build with the customers makes for a great learning experience. You get to see how two different lines of business are run differently, right? The different business processes that each customer has and the different personalities that they have as well, and how each of those run differently. But also just getting to know different people, working with them to solve problems is really cool.
I would totally agree with you. Awesome. Well, those are all the questions I have, but is there anything else?
Do I get the
Yeah.
answer to that question?
Why don't you go ahead, Scott? Why don't you go? What's your favorite part about being a part of the customer's experience team?
I mean, what gets me out of bed every morning is really dealing with this team. It sounds cliche, everyone's proud of their team, but we're a small team, but we're a mighty team. So, I'm fortunate enough to work with these professionals, dealing with our customers, seeing their successes, working through their challenges. If you're not engaging your CSM today, please do because you'll find the value very quickly. So I'm just proud of the team and proud to be part of it. And it makes me happy.
Awesome. Nice. Anything else from anyone else?
All
All right.
good. Thank you.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
again, thank you for taking the time to check out a little bit more about what customer success is here at MSI Data. We hope you learned something. If you're not engaging right with your customer success manager, I think if there's a theme here, it's engage, right? The word engage comes to mind based on a lot of the answers and questions that we put out there. So hope you learned something. If you're not having recurring meetings or some sort of cadence with your customer success manager, I would absolutely highly encourage you to do that. So if you have further questions about anything else, I would also encourage you reach out to your customer success manager. They're here to help. I think you've heard from all of them that, they get just as excited when you're successful as if they would be individually successful. So, make sure that you engage, spend time with them. They're here to help you. So with that, we'll close. Again, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching and listening in. I hope you learned something. All right. See you
Thank
later.
Thank you.